Good girls go.
Gabe Saporta, welcome to Spout. How you doing, man?
Nick Major, thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You've decorated our table today in some beautiful Brotege.
Brotege.
What a good name. But
Thank you so much.
Brotege Good Boy Protection. You're known for your music, of course, but you've been diving into the world of skincare products for men. So I have to ask, while this is sitting here so people know what this is about, talk to me about Brotege.
Oh my God, there's so much to talk about. Someone asked me recently, it's like, how'd you go from like doing music to doing this? And in a lot of ways, it feels very much like starting a band.
Yeah.
Right? It feels like you're at the beginning, you're involved in every aspect of it, you know? And like the kind of thinking is similar to making music. When you make music, you're doing something that you want to hear yourself, but you want the world to love it. So same thing. I really made this because I wanted something for myself. The product that I used my whole life was discontinued. And then I also so two things happened. The product I always used was discontinued. And then when we hit our 30s, so many of my friends were like not doing anything to take care of themselves, like super degenerate, like nothing, you know? And we're like, dude, you're like not young anymore. And I think that there's this thing with like guys in skincare that kind of getting into taking care of yourself, especially your face, feels like accepting that you are on an irreversible march towards death.
It's like a taboo topic almost.
It's like, whoa, I have to I'm going to ignore these lines that I see in my face that didn't used to be there. You know, like I'm going to be young forever, especially like music people that are a little bit refuse to grow up. They refuse to get into anything that will actually benefit them as they're growing up.
Kind of look long term.
Yeah, they don't want to think long term, you know? So I felt like this was a good way to approach it, to have a humorous attitude, to have a simple all-in-one product that, you know, it's not the perfect product for everybody. It's not a professional level product. It's not for pros. It's for bros.
I know what it's like when products stop being sold like you love. Like I've had like hair care products or like cologne products that once they stop selling it, you're just like, really? Like, really? You're just going to do that?
And then you go on eBay and it's like $100, you know?
Which I have before, bought a bottle of something when I was like, I need it again, but then never again. There's always a solution. And in your case, you made your own. So what's the packaging, which I love because it's an adorable dog. It looks like some sort of lab with little rock hands coming out of its mouth. It dug up a grave.
Exactly. So we wanted to figure out, you know, obviously I was very inspired by what Liquid Death was doing.
Yes.
I was on the Warped Tour that the founder of Liquid Death kind of saw all of our bands because
With the Monster water?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this, but Liquid Death were not the first geniuses to put water in a beer can, right? Monster was doing it first and giving it to us in it was so, I remember on that Warped Tour, the water in those Monster cans was sitting out all day, boiling, tasted like warm piss. It was disgusting. And this dude saw that and he saw us drinking the Monster water. And it was kind of an afterthought for Monster at the time because they were already doing the energy drinks in the big beer cans.
Yeah.
And they're like, here, we'll just put water in here for the band since we're sponsoring the whole tour. But they didn't think of it as its own category, right? And Liquid Death guy was like, that's cool. Why are these dudes that go to these festivals, why should they drink the same water that yoga moms are drinking, you know? So I think that was kind of the same idea. It's like, you know, people want a product that speaks to them, that comes from the world that they're a part of. But I didn't want to do a skull because it's like, you know, it's like it would be too much on the nose.
It's so overdone. I mean, I got one on my hand.
There's
and
lots
it's
of skulls everywhere.
There's
you
enough
know?
skulls in the world,
Yes.
and you can never go wrong with dogs.
Exactly. So, and I love animals. I wanted to do a portion of our proceeds are going to go to animal shelters and dog rescues. So I felt like this was also just a nice juxtaposition, like the dog digging up a piece of the grave, you know? So it's like both, you know, cute and young and old and dying, you know, which is kind of the essence of Brotege.
Where can people pick it up right now? And is it available?
Right now, it's only on our website. We officially kind of launched in April. That means we actually got our team together. I had this ready. We rushed to get this out by when we were young because I wanted to just kind of give it to all my artist friends and everybody.
Oh,
at the
nice. So
festival.
you had it by then.
Yeah, but it
nice.
wasn't officially available everywhere until basically Christmas time, top of this year. I just spent, you know, again, I'm learning a new industry in a way, right? So it's also I feel like I'm really good at some part of marketing, which is branding, conceptualizing, understanding what to put into a product. The part that I'm not great at marketing is like growth hacking, ROAS, LTV, CAC, like all these acronyms that I hope you put it underneath here when
what they mean each time. Okay, now we have to because you said it.
Exactly.
We will do that. But
creating more work for him.
Yeah, you got this, Tommy. Just the small details that we pay you for. Love you, dude. I'm guilty of like exactly as you were describing about guys. I'm 33. I don't think I've ever like actually properly with made for face soap washed my face other than like in the shower when I'm in the shower and I do it, but like before bed I don't, and people think that's crazy. And
who thinks that's crazy?
All the girls I talk to think
girls,
it's crazy.
Exactly.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
But then
I never wash my face before I go to sleep.
Okay, thank you. So I'm not. You guys are crazy. You're doing it too much.
Obviously, the first thing if you don't want your skin to get older is you got to keep it moisturized. It's like a old baseball glove. If you don't like oil it up, it's gonna start cracking and stuff. So you got to keep your face wet because moisture is the essence of wetness, and wetness is the essence of beauty. Do you know the movie, Tommy? Come on.
Is that Zoolander?
Yeah!
Oh, man!
Nailed it, Tommy!
Hey.
And wetness is the essence of beauty.
Get out
Nailed
of it.
it.
See, you need a microphone. You just do better than me every damn chat.
Okay, so back to the product. So it has that. It has sunscreen, like you mentioned, but it also has retinol. Do you know what retinol is?
No, I've heard it, and I know it has something to do with this somehow your body.
Retinol is an ingredient that's scientifically proven to reduce the signs of aging.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has everything to just keep your skin looking fresh and young, and stay young until you die.
And you're going to look great up until the day you die. You might be 80,
Literally.
but you're not going to look
You're
a
gonna
day.
look awesome.
You're not going to look a day over 30.
Yeah.
So that's great. I love it. And the dog, is it inspired by any actual real dog, or were you just like?
I had a dog when I was a little kid. His name was Oreo. He kind of looked like that, but he was black and white. It was very cute.
I love it. I had a bunny named Oreo.
Did you really?
I did.
Yeah.
Naming pets after.
Did you have siblings?
Yeah, I have 3 siblings. Do you have siblings?
I do. Yeah, it was a big like debate about what the name of the dog was going to be.
See, I'm a triplet, so we used to really get into battles about stuff like
You're
that.
a triplet?
Yeah.
No way.
I think we let my sister pick Oreo though.
Wow.
But you guys, where did you fall age-wise in your siblings? Are you?
I'm the oldest.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you were leading that ship a lot of the time.
Well, yeah, but it was kind of his dog. It was for his. So I think he really wanted. We both wanted a dog, but I think it came around his birthday, and he really wanted to call the dog Buddy. And I'm like, please, for the love of God, do not call this dog Buddy. So we landed in Oreo. Actually, a girl in the neighborhood was like, oh, he's black and white. You should call him Oreo. See, women always have the common sense.
They do, and now Oreo gets to live on not the same colors necessarily, but
Well,
the
it is
memory
black
is there.
and white. The memory
Yeah.
of Oreo.
Oh yeah, true. I guess just the
It is black
packaging in
and
general
white.
is black and white on top of it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool. We love us our dogs. I have a dog now, Frankenstein.
That's a great name.
Yeah, little Frankie.
You call him Frankie for short?
Yeah, and it's a
that's great.
girl, which is
okay.
weird. But what about you?
Frankie's a good girl name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You a dog person currently? You got one?
I'm a big dog person. I currently don't have dogs because I have 3 kids, and my wife said that we cannot. We had dogs before. They unfortunately both passed away within a year of the first kid being born. They were older, but they really lost the will to live when the baby came in.
Do you think that was a part of it, really?
I think they were depressed. Yeah.
I can see it's
They
so
died from
sad, but
broken
I can
heart.
see
It's really-
stuff like that happening because they just don't get it.
I know especially when you go from like, okay, you can sleep on the bed, and now it's like you can't sleep on the bed anymore. There's a baby in here, so it was really, I think, depressing for the dogs. I feel really bad about it. I know I'm like kind of joking about it, but it was sad. They were older. They lived great lives. Tulipan and Koala, if you're watching. I was thinking about you
Tulipan and
guys.
Koala?
Mhm.
Oh,
Great
I
names.
love that.
Cute
And
names.
did having dogs prepare you at all for kids, or is that a completely different game?
Well, I have 3 kids. They're spaced 3 years apart. So my youngest just turned 3. So
Time for another.
I've basically just been in diapers for 10 years. Just imagine that. Like I've been cleaning up shit for 10 years.
Oh,
So
man.
in that way, I really was like grossed out by that, before dogs, but then dogs, you just gotta deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I feel like, parents always tell their kids, I'm not getting a dog because you're not going to do any of the work. We're like, yeah, we'll do it. And the parents end up doing it anyway.
Yep, that's how it always goes.
Yeah. So I was.
And they end up loving the dog too.
Yeah, exactly. But no, my wife said that as soon as everyone can wipe their own ass in our house, then we can get a dog. So we're close.
Oh,
Number 3 is getting very close.
Yeah, let's get it number 3. Work on wiping those number 2s. We got to get you a dog in the house. We like that a lot. Music-wise, what are you cooking up? Because your music is such an important part of my history and so many
Really?
people. Yeah, my first job ever was at Tilly's, and that was in the summer of 2009, just after
What
like.
is Tilly's, like Spencer's?
It was like, what would you say Tilly's like? It's a clothing store, but not like Spencer's. It's more kind of common, like normal clothing, but it would be looped in. Like if you see a store, it'd be like Hot Topic, like PacSun. I would say it's similar
Where'd
to
you grow up?
Reno, Nevada.
Okay. Was it a West Coast thing, Tilly's? I don't think we had it on the East Coast. Maybe we did.
Maybe are you more east side? Is Louisville on the east, or is that more in the middle of the country? I'm so bad with my geography. East-ish. It's on the east middle.
Did you have a Tilly's, Tommy?
I think we did.
Yeah. So we had it, but it was just when.
I mean, I know the name. I just don't know what this is.
You've never been there? Yeah.
Tchotchkes.
And there's some up here.
Tchotchkes.
There's
Let's
plenty
go.
up here.
We'll get our robes there. Do they have robes?
Let's go get her.
We need a
They
spot
will
there.
today.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by. But when I first started working there, playing all the time was Good Girls Go Bad.
So after I retired from being an artist, basically what happened is my wife got pregnant, and I'm just like, peace, I'm out. I just didn't want to be on tour. I wanted to be at home and like build a family. And like I watched a lot of my friends like get married, go back on tour, and then get divorced. I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So I still wanted to be in the music business, so I started a label. And so now I have the label, and we run that, and it's a lot of fun. We have some awesome artists.
Who are some of the artists that you guys are working with?
Tessa Violet.
If you keep it up, I'ma see the light. Open up the gates to my paradise. Like my God, oh, my God.
Pacifica.
Don't understand, I don't wanna hold your hand or listen to your band. I just wanna hear you saying, I need.
We worked with Little Lotus for a while.
No, I'm so tired and you're waiting until this time, so you can blame me for everything. Sometimes your love is a loaded gun, and this boy was meant to be.
Great. I was just texting him. I
yeah,
love Lotus.
I love Lotus.
And did I see Sophie Powers on your guys'
Sophie
page?
Powers, yes.
I love it. When you move with me, when you move with me.
We got her coming up on Thursday. We're going to go and chat with her.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
So Sophie, I mean, this is maybe more TMI. Sophie, we love. Sophie, we had a JV with Atlantic, and Sophie signed through there. And then I don't know how deep you want to go on music business stuff, but
No, feel free. I'd love it. And I know Sophie well. She's a good friend.
so Sophie's amazing. She was our second artist as part of that deal. We had a JV with Atlantic, and then Atlantic had a huge change of leadership.
Yeah, I remember when that happened.
Exactly, like over the fall. So unfortunately, Sophie got caught up in that. And so actually, fortunately for her, she's a free agent now. She's doing great
I
work.
think for her, I think that was a great start to her career. It really gave her a good look at the industry. And I first talked with her a couple years ago when she was brand new into it. And now seeing her go solo, because she's such a creative person and she's so hardworking and just puts. I'm happy.
She's
for
one of
her.
the hardest working artists I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been kicking off the label, which kind of led to this stuff as well. But
How'd you meet Sophie?
I was out at a show once, Scene Queen, who's
Yeah,
an artist.
I remember when we got on the tour. Yeah.
So she was opening for her at the Roxy, and then I saw her set there, and I thought she was really sick, and I was like, "Hey, you should come stop by and do an interview." So we did it,
awesome.
and I've just known her for the years since then.
That's so sick. Was
Yeah.
that when you were back at
That was at Adobe Radio.
Yeah.
So that was at the studio there,
Yeah.
and we actually did a chat a few weeks ago with Sophie, and the audio didn't record.
Are you for real?
So,
Tommy.
So to be fair, it recorded, the memory card corrupted, which is like the go-to answer that was actually
Bro, that
real.
is, I can't tell you how many times we've done the photo shoots. Oh, the memory card corrupted. The dude loses the photo.
Yeah, because they lose the card. But me, I assure you, this was not a good one.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago we did that, 3 weeks ago, but we're going back on Thursday now.
Okay,
To
good.
finally redo that.
Hey, what's up, guys? Nick Major here with the Spout Podcast, and today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Booking.com. And whether you have a full-on vacation rental or even just an extra bedroom that's been collecting dust and maybe a few forgotten holiday decorations, it might be time to make that space work for you, because this couch behind me and this dog and my bed over in my bedroom all takes up a lot of space. None of it brings in additional income, but Booking.com makes it easy for you to list your place and actually start getting guests. I've used the platform before while traveling as a guest, and it is always smooth sailing. And as for hosts, it's even smoother. It is one of the most downloaded travel apps in the world, which basically means that your place could be seen by a lot of people. We're talking consistent bookings, exposure to a global audience, and let's be honest, more cash in your pocket. Over 1.8 billion people have found vacations through Booking.com, so odds are good that someone out there wants to stay at your place. And don't worry, you are not giving up any control. You are the boss. You handle the bookings, you talk to the guests, manage your calendar, your money, everything. Plus, getting started, it takes less than 15 minutes. It takes longer than it took me to record this video because I have messed up and I have had to re-record it several times. And if your spot's already listed somewhere else, Booking.com lets you import your property info in no time. Boom, done. You can start making that money over at Booking.com. So whether you are looking to earn some extra income, fill up those empty weekends, or go full on business mode, Booking.com makes it simple. So for the bookings that you have dreamed of, go list your place today at Booking.com. Now let's get back to our chat with Gabe over here on the Spout Podcast, and shout out Booking.com for making traveling and booking a breeze.
What'd you think of her American Idol troll?
This song, I mean, it's a tearjerker for sure. Karens, shut the up. Vegans, shut the up. Babies, shut the up. Everyone needs to shut the up.
She did give a good story on that. So did you have a hand in her getting on this?
No, she got on it with her management team, but then we strategized it, what song to do. I'm like, you got to go with Shut the... Because I love that song, Shut the Up. I thought it was so good. I think she doesn't love it as much as I love it.
I remember I heard it ages ago. She posted like a clip on Instagram about it.
It's genius. But I think, I don't like, this, it's her thing, but I think she was like, that's the end of the first era of Sophie, and now she's on her digital dirt era, which is awesome. But I think that song is actually like legitimately great, and I think it's more of like a meme joke funny song. But again, I'm the guy that got famous on Sticks on a Plane, so
Exactly.
it's like I think when you look at the trajectory of a lot of famous artists, you don't realize how many of them actually became big off of a novelty, and what gives you staying power is actually your ability to transform that into legitimacy, and that takes time. But I'm not afraid to be a novelty. That's why I did Cobra Starship.
Yeah, so let's see. You had Midtown. It was a band that you were a part of.
She tries to erase, she tries to replace how it feels, but I know she can never go home.
And then not long after that ended was I think you put up what was it that you put up on MySpace? That was it a Gwen Stefani cover?
Yes.
Holla Back Boy.
Holla Back Boy.
Cause I ain't your holla back boy, I ain't your holla back boy.
This is my This is my
And where I first heard you guys unknowing it was you when I was in theaters seeing Snakes on a Plane, and then did the Bring It track at the end of it, which had like Travie McCoy in it in the video, and it had
William Beckett from
Yeah,
the
yes.
Academy is,
Yeah.
and Maya from the Sound.
Times are strange, we got a free upgrade for Snakes on a Plane. Them, I don't care.
So how did that song come to be when that new chapter of your career began after Midtown?
So like Midtown was like, we came from like, even though it was kind of pop punk, it was at the time that like pop punk was really rooted in punk rock, it was like we came from underground scene, like VFW shows. So it was very much like, and I mean, Midtown started in 1998, so that's a long time ago. So some of the things I'm going to say might sound like a little bit anachronistic today, but like, selling out was like a real thing you had to contend with like, that kind of stuff. And we signed to Drive Through, which was like more of like a West Coast label. And, Newfound signed there too. And Chad from Newfound was in a hardcore band called Shai Hulud, and they were on Blink. And so like really navigating of like, these like new generation of pop punk bands that were kind of getting big at the time, and then also it was like Saves the Day. And Dashboard Confessional. This was the pre-Fall Out Boy emo, right? So like a lot of people think like the emo wave started with Fall Out Boy. I guess that was one wave, but there was like a precursor to that wave, which is like, those bands I just mentioned. And anyway, so I think for us as artists, we're always contending with like, okay, we want to be successful, but we don't want to be successful. And like with us, because we were like cute young boys from Jersey, we all sang like, especially a Drive Through, as a label, then did a deal with a major. So we had all these major label people. We signed to an indie label that then got bought by a major or did a deal. And like, we're talking to these major label people and they're just like, oh, cute boys all singing. They were pushing us into like more of a boy band world.
territory.
Yeah. So we actually fought really hard to come back from that. So our third album that we made that nobody loved was like pretty dark and like more of a rock record. It kind of broke the band up. Now people love that record. It's called Forget What You Know.
Silence kills the calm of the night. I force an anxious patience, counting every beat and waiting for my turn to die.
It was produced by Butch Walker, right? And we did that. And we did that without a label. We kind of recorded ourselves. We did what Jimmy Eat World did with Mark Trombino. They just went, recorded their own record, and then just like made this really artistic project and then found a label for it. So we kind of did that and it didn't work. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to go back to school. I'm 24. I'm like still young enough to go back to school. And I had a friend who was like, you know, Gabe, I go to a lot. What she did for a living is do you remember how like in the early 2000s, all bands wore diesel?
Yeah.
That was because my friend Kelly. So
Kelly.
Yeah. There was this girl, Kelly, who worked at Diesel. She was awesome. And she just loved music. She hooked a lot of bands up. She hooked everybody up. So she's like, Gabe, I go to so many shows and I'll tell you, like, the heads of the companies, the labels don't come out to see most of these bands. Like, if they're here to see you guys, they must see something in you. And if you could just get out of your own way, I'm sure you could be successful. And I was like, get out of my own way, you know? So that was like resonating in the back of my head when Midtown was done. I'm just like, okay, I've been doing this for like 5 years. I could go back to school, or I could take everything I've learned, really more than 5 years, because I started, you know, playing music when I was 13, right?
Yeah.
Like almost 10 years of really playing shows, playing music. If I could take everything I learned and just get out of my way and try to be successful and not like have such hang-ups about selling out or this or that and just like have fun with it, maybe I'll be successful. And that's what started Cobra Starship.
You make me feel good. 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 You make me feel good.
At that time in the 90s, when the pop punk stuff was happening, when Blink-182 was like blowing up, what was that like from an artist perspective? Were you guys all like, nah, they've sold out, they're on the major, they doing this?
All the small things, true care, truth brings.
I mean, I'm East Coast, you know.
Yeah.
So there was this East Coast West Coast thing that was happening early on, which is East Coast was a little more rooted in hardcore,
Yeah.
and West Coast was like definitely more funny, silly pop punk. So there was a little bit of like East Coast is better, you know, like Bouncy Souls, East Coast, fuck you.
East Coast, yo, East Coast, yo, East Coast, yo.
Like, you know, so it was a little bit of that. It's like anything that kind of came out of the West Coast had a little bit of poo-poo, you know, like I remember people even used to poo-poo No Effects.
Got the word that's sticking in my eye. Got something sticking in my eye. Got something sticking in my eye.
So there was a little bit of that, and I remember that Blink, obviously, when even when Green Day came out.
I wanna be the minority. I don't need your authority. Down with the moral majority.
You know, like Green Day are like obviously amazing punk rock band. I think that just happens to anyone. Anytime a band starts getting big from a scene, there's something called the tall poppy syndrome. You know, have you heard of this?
No.
It's like when the poppy comes up, people want to stamp it down. You
Yeah.
know? So so I think you see that a lot. You know, I remember like Blink was when Cheshire Cat came out and it was Carousel, right? That song.
It sure was.
It was like a great song, and I remember like my friends like some of my friends skateboarding to it. You know, it was cool. But I remember seeing Blink. One of the first times I saw them was what was it, Lollapalooza or Warped Tour? It was like '95 at one of these. It was either Lollapalooza
so very
or Warped
early
Tour.
days still
Very
of Blink.
early. And people were like heckling them, And Mark was like, "We're the fucking last band on the stage. If you don't like, just get the fuck out of here." You know, I was like, "That's kind of punk rock. It's cool." Yeah.
We just saw Mark last week, 2 weeks ago. He was doing a book reading for his new book down at the Wiltern.
Yeah, how was
and
that?
So it was cool.
You read the book at the Wiltern Theater?
He didn't read it. He was there to promote it with the co-author of the book, and then they just kind of talked more in depth some of the stories from the book in front of a live audience.
At the Wiltern?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was
that's a
pretty
lot
cool.
Of people. Was it packed?
It was the bottom was packed. Upstairs was pretty full. That's where Tommy and I were, and I think they had some reserved seating up there, but it was pretty damn full for just a book
Wow,
reading. So I was
that's
like,
great.
props for you, Mark. That's pretty cool to.
So what? He was talking to his co-author?
Yeah, and they didn't talk to the crowd at all, which I was kind of bummed about.
No questions from the crowd?
No, but so cool to see Mark talk about stories from the
crazy.
Blink days,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
And Tommy and I, it's our favorite band. So Tommy,
Really?
I have to tell this story now. Oh, you're wearing your Blink shirt right now.
I love that.
Back in 2011 or 12,
That's
Blink,
old school. Right?
Yeah, with the bunny. Blink had a contest, and it was like, promote our upcoming European tour. Winner gets lifetime Blink-182 tickets. Tommy won that contest. He has Blink-182 tickets for life.
Wow.
They still work, and now that story is out of the way
you
for the
tell-
day.
Okay, explain that to me. You have tickets for life?
Yes. Tommy, come here.
Come here, Tommy. Get in here. Show everyone your shirt.
Here's my shirt. Wow, I'm the interviewer now. So I made a video where I used Blink-182 lyrics as pickup lines on girls and like filmed hidden camera. Hey, I'm Tommy. I suck at getting girls, so today I'm gonna see if Blink-182 lyrics can be used as pickup lines.
How are you?
Good. This world's an ugly place, but you're so beautiful to me.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you. I'm engaged.
Dang it! And then won the contest, so now any show I can get me and a +1. So
But how do you do that? You have to like call in advance?
hit up their I have like their managers' emails, and at this point I don't really even know who. I just blast email like the 6 emails I have and say,
Wow.
I'd like tickets to this show, please.
But you have to show your
And they'll hook
credentials
it
or
up.
anything? Do you have like a special
No,
Blink card or
I
anything?
send the Blink-182 pickup lines video every time. I just say, I'm the guy who made this video. Can I go
That's
to
unbelievable.
the show?
What if I just do that and I just put,
Yeah, just try
it. Take some of the video.
Tell them what it led to after. It's a cool story.
You guys meeting or you guys knew each other yet?
Oh. Well, so I did that video and then I got 1 million views. So I was like, let me see if I can do it again. So I did it again with Taylor Swift lyrics, and then that got a lot of views.
There's this darling boy, and he goes and just sings your lyrics to girls to try to pick them up. Have you seen this?
Really?
We have to show it to you.
I want to see it.
I talked to your dad.
My dad?
Yeah. He said, go pick out a white dress. It's a love story. Just say yes.
Oh my God, he's the best. He's the best. He's perfect.
And then Vivo, the company that has like all
Sure.
the music videos, they emailed me and said, hey, let's make this a series. So for 2 years, that was my full-time thing, was just awkwardly hitting on girls with a hidden camera using lyrics of different artists and
That's
getting rejected every time.
unbelievable.
Have you seen the video, the kid who uses lyrics from your songs as pickup lines?
I did, yeah. I did.
Yeah.
And it made me realize how terrible some of my lyrics are. Because they sound great when you sing them, but when you say them, it's like, oh, God, that's creepy. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was on The View.
Wait, did you make money from doing all this?
Yeah, Vivo paid me like per episode.
No
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I was like a professional
Hidden camera guy?
terrible a professional pickup failure for 2 years.
That's awesome, Tommy.
Yeah,
Go,
that's-
Tommy.
You need a girl that I can train.
A girl?
Yeah. Well,
You haven't been touring too much. You got the family. I kind of feel like, honestly, your career has been a dream to many, where you were able to, so early on, achieve cool stuff to maybe open up opportunities to now you can chill and have a family while you're also working your butt off with a company, with a label, with a this, with a that. But it's still giving you great opportunities, because the first band I ever saw in concert was My Chemical Romance. But you got to go on tour with them, with their comeback shows.
Yes. Okay. Just recently, I mean,
Yes.
a couple years ago. Yeah.
So even though you're not touring actively, amazing opportunities pop up. Like you got to tour with My Chemical
I always
Romance.
told my wife, it's like when I stop touring, I'm like, babe, if we ever really need money, I can just go back on tour if you want me to. It's like money in the bank. I can just go tap into that. If you want me gone 10 months out of the year,
Just let me know.
Let me know. If you want. But yeah, it's cool. Listen, I mean, the My Chem guys are amazing.
Yeah.
We grew up with those guys. Midtown. So the story of My Chem is that Midtown's first. Midtown was. Which EP did we do with Eyeball? We did an EP with Eyeball. It was my homie, my friend Alex was like a good friend of mine from Eyeball Records. And then when I moved to Hamilton Street, went to Rutgers when we started Midtown. Oh no, wait. Humble Beginnings did an EP on Eyeball, if I'm not mistaken. But it was one of my good friends, Eyeball Records, great New York, New Jersey label. He's a good friend of mine. When I moved to Rutgers, I met Jeff from Thursday, and Thursday we're starting out, and I gave Alex from Eyeball the Thursday tape. Jeff told him about Mike Chem. So it was like they had Thursday and Mike Chem at Eyeball. So we would like hang out with those guys. I remember the first time I met Mikey and Gerard. They're like, yeah, because they're kind of like shy, kind of a little bit more awkward. And I hadn't seen them around the scene before, you know. And they're like, yeah, they're like really into comic books. You like Gerard's a comic book artist. It's like awesome. And I'm like, awesome. And then we ended up sharing like a rehearsal space with them a few years. But we toured with them a bunch when we were smaller. Like I think before either of our bands got big. We did a bunch of tours, and then when they got back together, they just asked us to be one of the bands that opened the shows. We were really honored.
Jeez, you're like a history book of going down.
If my memory only worked better, you know, it's like you really have to I have to really dig for some of these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did it. I had to do it. Last time I had to really dig into the archives was for that book, the Where Are Your Boys Tonight book that Chris Payne wrote.
Oh, okay.
Which that's an awesome book. I don't know if you've read that.
No, I haven't, but I know.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and what were your contributions to it?
I think I was the first person he interviewed for that book.
Okay.
But the book is really interesting because it weaves like an arc from all these like kind of like different scenes. Like, you know, everyone knows like a little bit about this world, whatever, but like how it's all kind of connected and how one thing kind of led to another.
Yeah.
The book does an amazing job just weaving a through line from like basement shows in New Jersey to like TRL.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh, I see how this all happened, you know? So it's for people who are fans of this, I highly recommend that book. It's unbelievable.
Back in 2017, 18, MTV flew me out to audition to be a host on the revival of TRL, and then so they brought me to like their studio, and it was the old space with like the glass walls behind us, and it was so cool. I didn't get the gig, but it came back.
Did it come back? TRL did come back for a little while. I remember
very
that.
quickly because some of my good friends now they were on it, and I think
I remember Brockhampton was on it, right?
Yeah.
That was like one of the episodes. So.
And it was very quick.
Who were the hosts? Just some random people.
My friend Eric, Eric and Tamara, they're Spout hosts as well.
They are?
And Eric's based in Chicago, Tamara's out here, but they were two of the hosts on it. It was just it's a different time now. It's back in the day when I grew up watching it, it was so cool to see your favorite artists talking because you couldn't see them anywhere else. I swear social media has changed so much just because your artists post everything everywhere. You can see stuff all the time anywhere. Music videos, I can go to YouTube and watch it anytime. I don't know if a show like TRL can survive nowadays. I don't know, but grateful to have had the chance.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you like doing it?
Yeah, it was cool. It was great. And again, just grateful for the opportunity.
Cobras was on TRL a couple times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was like a great video online of us in like powder blue tuxedos. I moved to LA at the end of 2016. I feel like I've like, you know, just moved here, but it's been almost 10 years I've been here, dude. Actually, yesterday, for the first time, someone started telling me about like why it's called Los Angeles. I'm not exactly sure if
a whale's vagina, and it's it's from Anchorman. Oh, damn it! It was good though, right? If it was the correct movie quote, it would have been good.
That's good.
Tommy would have nailed that. He's the movie guy.
They named it San Diego, which of course in German means a whale's vagina.
No, there's no way that's correct.
That's good.
But what does Los Angeles mean? The Angels.
Yeah, but the Angels. But I think she was saying. I mean, she's very into like indigenous peoples and stuff. She said that it was like it's like an energy vortex, and all the angels from like different portals were coming in. That's what the native people thought. I don't know if that's true or not. So if anyone can fact check that. I mean, I literally heard this yesterday.
Okay, perfect timing to bring it up.
But I feel like I'm almost here 10 years. I should find out why, more about this city.
Yeah, are you going to stick around this city? I feel like it's controversial. Some people are leaving. I feel like everyone's been going to Nashville the past 2 years, it seems like.
I am definitely not going to Nashville.
Yeah.
I have to say, after coming here, I realized, like, being a New Yorker, how much the weather just made me a miserable person. I was, like, you just take it for granted that New Yorkers are assholes, but like, there's a reason for that. We don't see the sun half the year, and even when the sun's out, like, those buildings are covering it up.
I was gonna say the buildings you can't even see because you got all the buildings around you.
This is like, this is like one of the best climates in the world.
It is. It's beautiful, and
even though it's been freezing the past couple weeks,
gloomy. Even just today, super gloomy out here, which I don't mind. I love hiking, and this is my
we're
favorite
getting
hiking
old
weather.
when we're talking about the weather, bro.
I know, and actually seriously enjoying it. We're like, yes, but the precipitation levels today.
No, but I like Los Angeles a lot, even with its problems. I kind of like the problems. When I was a kid, I grew up in Queens in the 80s, and it was dangerous, and I kind of like that a little bit.
It trains you good for LA because it's not that bad out here.
I don't
feel
think
like
it's that bad. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, we had, I lived like in an apartment complex that behind us, there was a subway train that went by, and there was like a little patch of grass right there. And I found a butterfly knife back there, and I brought it to school. I was like 7,
Sick. Coolest kid in class that day.
Yeah, I was the coolest kid in class, but teacher took it away. I didn't get in trouble for it, though, which is nice. She's like, I'll take that.
But you're a West Coaster now.
Now I'm West Coast. Yeah, I'm just like peace and love. Yeah.
Peace and love. So what do you have coming up next? As the skincare stuff.
I'm just gonna transition to $1 billion company, and then
it's as easy as that. It really is.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, I feel like everything that I've learned in the music business has brought me to this point. You know? And I think that one of my main things is that I like when you see face products and everything, it's really expensive, and you have to get so many different products to do different things. And I just want to make something that's affordable and easy, and I think it's gonna help people.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it, and my mother will be happy to know that I will be covering my face in sunscreen on the days, because everyone should. Anytime you go outside, just put a little sunscreen on your face. There's nothing wrong with it.
But this isn't sunscreen, just so you know. It's a daily moisturizer with sunscreen built in.
And the other product that you told me about.
Retinol, anti-aging.
Retinol, it's actually an anti-aging material that I was just told about by Gabe several minutes ago. Any other music stuff coming up?
Yeah, Cobra's is going to do Warped Tour, and we're going to do Riot Fest, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Midtown did Riot Fest 2 years ago. It's probably one of my favorite festivals.
Oh, really? That's
awesome
so fun
festival.
that you kind of can just bounce between the projects and do really cool stuff.
It's fun, yeah.
What was the first year of Warped Tour that you attended, I guess, and then that you were an artist on?
The first Warped Tour I ever did was Humble Beginnings. We won the Ernie Ball Battle of the Bands at my local Guitar Center, and we got to play at the Ernie Ball stage at the local Jersey Warp Date, which was in Asbury Park.
What years did you do as Cobra?
Cobra, we did 2008.
Okay, 8. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And now you'll be going back.
I think. But everyone's like complaining about like the lineup and this and that. Like, what's going on with that?
People about everything. You know how you're saying when bands get too big and like then you get shit on because of that? You can't please people about anything.
But it seems like the talking is like the loudest voice in the room.
Yeah, and I guess it's kind of how I always feel like with bad reviews of restaurants. Like when I go to a place and it's good, I usually don't leave a good review online.
Right.
But when I go to a place and it's just angry people, I'm like... People, when they get worked up about something, they love to make their voices heard. So I think it's a phenomenal lineup. I think it's a great mixture of bands from old to new. And are you doing all the dates? I know there's DC.
No, we're just doing Long Beach.
Okay, Long Beach, which is right out here. So that'll be great because that's right on the beach.
Yeah.
So that's going to be beautiful.
You live down there?
No, I live deep in the valley, Winnetka. So it's
Winnetka.
Far.
Winnetka Bowling League.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I live about 5-minute drive from there. And for those of you who don't know, Hillary Duff's husband, whose name I forget his first name, do you know it?
Matt.
Yeah. He's that's his band, and they seem awesome.
Being now that I'm 10 years in California, like I haven't done a lot of like exploring like I should, like the kind of, because I just have kids. It's like, it's hard to like go far and go on a long drive with like screaming babies.
Is there any stuff around here that you haven't checked out that you want to?
I haven't checked out a lot of stuff. Yeah, tell me about stuff.
Oh, if you like hiking,
I don't like hiking. No, I'm from New York. I don't like hiking.
Beaches?
I'm sorry.
Like
I love
beaches?
the beach. I love the beach.
And even just on the film side, I just love, because so many iconic movies and stuff have been down here. I like just seeing some of the locations sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's the restaurant where like Tarantino did this movie.
I used to live right around the corner from the Nightmare on Elm Street house.
That's sick. And I one time did a video series with a couple band guys back in like 2015 or 16 for Alternative Press. It was with Johnny Craig and Garrett Rap. Those ring a bell, and they love horror movies. So we went down to that house, and right across the street was Johnny Depp's house from the movie, if you knew that. And
which from really
from the Nightmare on Elm Street house?
Really?
Like across the street is the house that was Johnny Depp's house.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to remember where else we went, but yeah, that's sick. That's one of my favorite horror movies.
Yeah.
Are you a horror movie guy?
I used to no. I get really scared now, so I don't watch horror movies. But my kid is really into horror movies, so we're like watching stuff now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we watch, and he has a friend who's like really into like 80s movies.
This is the 9-year-old, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So we watched Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger the other day. It was so sick. I'm like, dude, the 80s were the best. Like I watched those movies when I was a kid, and I'm just like, wow, this is like they just don't make them like this anymore.
No, in the
just
80s,
gratuitous violence and just bombs and just really bad dialogue. It's so bad, it's good, you know.
And it's all practical. The 80s was the last era, the 80s and 90s, I feel like, where the budgets were so big and the technology was so good, but they didn't have CGI. So that anything they did had to be practical. Any explosions, any monsters. And so because of that, I think it led to some really, like in those movies, it just led to really epic, big, cool stuff.
It's awesome.
So lots to do out here in LA, and I hope you get to check it all out. But anything else you want to cover before we wrap this up? Or do you feel like we touched a lot?
I think it's great. I can't wait to just go and consume some Tommy content.
Yeah, go home, consume some Tommy content. You won't be disappointed. You'll just be embarrassed for him because he never secured a date.
I'm not embarrassed for you. You're good. You're doing great.
But Gabe Saporta, which we did say, do your followers, have you ever had like a fan base following name? Have you ever come up with one? Like, you know, some artists, some bands, they'll be like, Blink-182's, we're the Blinkers. They do not have that.
For me personally?
Yeah.
No, I hope that never happens.
So we were, well.
Oh, you got one? Oh, man.
Too late, and you're welcome. We'll need some royalty check here. But, you know, kind of blending the East Coast, the New York, so you get a little bit of the, hey, who you talking to here? Oh, who you talking to? We're supporters.
Oh,
we're the supporters.
I'll tell you what. When I was a kid, I ran for student council, and it was supporter for treasurer.
There's something there. Did you get it?
No, I didn't get it.
Oh, what's a damn good name?
Yeah, I was a treasurer, and then I ran for president, and then I lost for president the next year. And this was like when I was really into music, so I was like, you know, like skipping school and like coming late and like dressing all weird. And so anyway, fast forward like 5 years later, I run into the girl who was like the head of student council the year before, and she's like, oh, you totally won that. The school would not allow you to become the president.
Just because of you? They were like, no, that kid's not doing this.
Yeah. Stolen election.
A rigged election.
Rigged.
Alternative
It was rigged.
facts. Gabe, thank you so much for chatting, man. And I think that'll wrap us up here.
It's awesome, bro.
Dude,
Thanks.
appreciate you stopping by, showing off the Brotege. And everybody can check out. Is there a website, Good Boy Protection, where they can get it?
It's just protege.com. The funny thing is I've had protege.com for 20 years. I just always thought it was a good name. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but here we are.
I love it. You finally found a good reason for the Brotege.
I think you should put some on, Nick.
Yeah,
you want me to help you?
I can try it on.
This first step is this is the most fun part. You should do this part.
Oh,
Pop it open with a spike on the cap.
Can I? There's a spike on the cap here.
There's a spike on the cap.
Oh.
That's the most fun part. The second most fun part is squeezing last drop. It's a metal tube.
Tommy, can you see that? Yep.
Just gonna ooze out of there. Don't push it too hard, bro.
Oh, cool.
It's cool.
So that's easy.
It's pretty cool, right?
And then now, can I just ooze some out
Yeah,
onto
just put
me?
some on down. Just a little dab. There you go. Wow.
That was good, right? Let's screenshot that. Great. So let's say I just do a little piece like this. Does that look like a fair amount?
I think that's good.
Just kind of.
Right under your eyes here, under your cheeks. Yeah, there you go.
On forehead, maybe.
Yeah, but you'll see it. You'll see it. Like, it should like with the retinol, it'll make your skin kind of glow right away. Like, give you a little redness to it.
I feel so fancy doing this because I do not do this often.
You don't have to be that delicate too. You can just. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Woo! How's he look? It looks good, right? Right
How do I
away.
look? Does it get a nice glow to it now?
Right away, dude. Yeah.
I'm excited, and it's not like an overly greasy thing.
It's not greasy.
Which is what I
It's
don't like.
unscented. You won't notice that you're wearing it. You know, it's great.
That's awesome. So everybody go to protege.com. We will have that URL down at the bottom of the screen here. But Gabe Saporta.
Oh, we should give you like a special discount code for
Spout?
Yeah.
If you want to,
we'll
feel
do that.
free.
Yeah, we'll put it in here.
Okay, we'll have it pop up here. And
when
once
is
we
this
come up with
airing,
it-
by the way?
This will be out on Monday of next week.
Oh,
So
that's fast, bro. Okay,
Yeah.
I got to work with my ecom team, get you set up, all right?
Yeah,
We'll make it happen.
But Gabe Saporta, thanks for stopping by,
Thank you,
Spout.
bro.
Appreciate it again so much.
Thanks,
I
Evan.
feel great now, and
Feel great, look great.
feel great, look great. Have a good day.